All right, all right. Hey, hey. All right, we're going to take a quick peek at what is going on with them, whoever they may be. Four of Wands. Hang on, this person, it's interesting dynamics on this card because we have one person like leaning forward, the other person is leaning back. For starters, we may have somebody that is being pursued by an individual who's like, I want to marry you. And they're like, I don't know about this. On the other hand, they are both made out of trees and they are facing each other and they are rooted. We have a 10 of Cups. What's going on with them is they're thinking very much about love and marriage and happiness and sliding down that rainbow. King of Cups, they are thinking about giving their heart. Okay, to whom? Are they thinking about giving their heart to our lead character? Are they thinking about giving their heart to somebody else altogether different? Who are you thinking, King of Cups, of giving your heart to? Temperance. So I'm going to say yes, it is our lead character. Our lead character is the one who is like pondering, like, I have no idea what they're thinking of. I don't know what's on their mind. In fact, I have no idea where they're even at. This could be a no contact situation because we have him. It's complete, like puzzle pieces missing all over the place. All we can see is a hand. And she's not even focused on the hand. She doesn't know he's even reaching toward her. She's still utterly confused. And it's an interesting card because this should be, temperance should be about balance. We have this message of love that should have been sent to her a long time ago. I mean, this could be a ring in that bird's beak. This may be, and the little bird is a skeleton, so we know this was a long time ago. This message should have already been given to her. This love offer should have already been presented to her. In the meantime, she started to doubt her own gut instinct on things. No wonder she's like, I have no idea about them. I asked the question just because I felt like, I don't know, let's just see what's going on with them. And she's over here saying, I don't even know. I can't even trust my gut instinct anymore. They were so confusing to me that I never really knew who they were. I never knew which direction they were looking. I didn't know if they liked me. I didn't know anything about them. I can't help that still I think about them because they were a puzzle to me. So she has no idea and not even an intuition in this case because her intuition got all wonky. It got all thrown off. Well, sure. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that either. If this card had just come out first, I'd be like, okay, well, they're really hard to read. Either they haven't been around in a while, or they didn't say anything that would indicate, what they were thinking before. And yet what we have here is that they are thinking about bringing in their whole, like a massive love offer, a marriage offer. They think of her as, their happiness. By the way, I always think of this as like Hawaii, somebody who's, considering going to Hawaii. We've got that Four of Wands as well. That's marriage. It almost feels like in their mind, this is still the person who's supposed to be part of their tree of life. In their mind, this is where they belong. In their mind, I do think that with that moon for a head, this person does hide things. King of Cups doesn't usually hide things, but we don't usually see King of Cups with a moon for a head. Why did you let her be so utterly confused and have so many missing puzzle pieces? Judgment card, and it's interesting because we even have the angels done with this. They're like, look, all these little bones in the boneyard here, and frankly, we're done with this. I'm asking, why did you let her, be so confused by you? And they're like, this was a long time ago. Long time ago. I wonder if they made the wrong judgment call a long time ago. Maybe because she was confused and couldn't tell what they meant, maybe she walked away and they didn't ask her to come back. This feels like, I don't know why this person waits so long, other than maybe we could just say they made a really terrible judgment call. I mean, you didn't go like get back together with some other person from your past, did you? We have an Empress. I said, why did you let her be so confused about you? It just feels like, the Two of Wands, though. Maybe they were unable to decide about another person. I don't understand that, because they're saying, I love her. She's my great happiness. She's the person I should have married. I'm thinking more like in the past, they thought I'm not ready to be married. And they thought maybe even she deserves somebody better than me. I don't really see this as like they were in conflict, like, oh, I don't know if I want her or somebody else. Nothing here says that they're a player. It says that maybe they had too many like skeletons in their closet. Maybe they felt like they didn't have much to offer. I mean, this is a pretty much like everything's been razed down to the ground. It almost looks like their landscape was pretty bleak. Maybe they were like, I can't ask her to be with me. Like, my life's a mess and she's an empress. I can't keep her in those gossamer gowns and the quality of life and her fine outfits. There's just no way. How am I supposed to ask her to be with me? Because it does look like they made a judgment call and they decided she's too good for me. What has changed then? What has changed? Page of Swords sideways. Look, over time, maybe they've started to actually listen a little bit to the messages of the universe. They've finally started to maybe even still spy on her and listen to her and learn more about her. I feel like this person walked away from an empress that they really wanted to be with because they decided, I'm probably not going to be able to offer her what she would want. And I wonder if over time that the fallacy of that thought process became more clear. Maybe they spied on her. Maybe they paid more attention. Sometimes people get to know another person after the fact. Maybe he's like spied on her and seen, I put her on this pedestal. I said she was this empress who expected all these finer things, all these like really expensive things. Maybe they even came to the conclusion that it was them who was stuck in this, it was them who had sabotaged all this. They started to think all these things like, oh, we're just two ships passing in the night, but they couldn't get over her. They've never gotten over her. She has been this big sorrow, but I feel like they were walking around with this big sorrow on the inside anyway. I feel like this is somebody who pretends that everything is fine, when in fact, we know they're a master of hiding things because their head is a moon. But it's like they imagine that they couldn't make somebody happy. They themselves don't feel like they have enough. They act like everything's fine, but inside this has been a real sticking point for them. And it's like they're finally realizing something about her. Maybe they're even starting to realize that they caused her a lot of grief in treating her this way. Death card. They really wish that they hadn't ended things with her, that's for sure. Are you going to be taking some kind of an action? Because she's over here saying, actually threw my intuition so off. Well, of course, because this is somebody who's in love with her and then saying you know what? She deserves somebody better than me. I'm really stuck. I could never give her what she would want. But that's them projecting. She didn't say she wanted fine things, expensive things. How are you going to keep me in my lifestyle or whatever? They just kind of decided all that. And I think over time, their opinion of her has changed. Maybe their opinion has shifted to where they realize that was all me talking. That was my own, shadow side talking. I'm the one who was stuck in a mindset. It was never her. I pushed that off onto her and said, I would never be able to make her happy. I decided that. Took away her choice to decide that if I would make her happy or not. I really think they're seeing things so differently as they have come to see her so differently. And it is through spying. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. All I can say right now is particularly this is very timely because we've got that full moon hovering above our first, this is the Morai from Greek mythology, the three crone sisters that are said to spin the golden thread that is the lifespan of us mortals. And the full moon is here. And this was, very important full moon because it was a blood moon. It was a full lunar eclipse and a particularly long one at that. So this has opened up a gateway in time and space Right now, if they don't take an action right now, then it's kind of like a speak now or forever hold your peace moment. It's right now during these 3 days that surround a full moon. Their window of opportunity is shrinking significantly because it's very much a now or never. You already kind of botched it before, but now you're sitting here saying, I'm so in love with her. She's the person I want to marry. And the Morai are over here saying, you've realized that, you put her on this untouchable pedestal. You sabotaged it. You decided somehow you couldn't offer her what she deserved. And now you're seeing the whole situation different. That's great. That means you've grown a lot. Now do something about it. Otherwise, because she still just wonders about them, but I don't really see her. She's not going to be making the big move toward them. It's just that they might be on her mind right now as well. What are you going to do? I want to say Mr. Moonhead. It doesn't have to be a Mr. or a Mrs. 9 of Swords sideways. He's not sleeping tonight. We can see that. He is up all night long, very stressed out. And there is script written all across him very faintly here. So it could be that he's tearing out his hair, wondering how to send a message. We have 7 of Swords. Is he trying to send a message and act all cool about it and hide what he really needs to say? And it's not, he can't draft it that way. If you're trying to still be cool about it, trying to keep a mask on, look at the 7 of Wands, he's all bird-brained out. Nothing is flowing because he's not finding the true words. If he would just write a letter that was true, if he would just approach her with words that were true, it would probably flow. But as long as he wants to keep trying to lie, he's not going to get any sleep, and he's not going to get the message. He's not going to write anything that is true. Okay, so he may be doing a little more spying on her, specifically tonight. But here's the thing, that Ace of Wands, maybe, kind of like he does need to go ahead and look at a picture of her or something and then be able to write down exactly what he's feeling. Please remember, this could be masculine, feminine, this could be same-sex couple. Does not matter. This could be a feminine who needs to write to a masculine. This could be, a masculine writing to a masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter. I don't read for genders. But we do see, I'm going to keep saying him and her just because of what we've seen on the cards. 3 of Pentacles. He would have a lot easier time if he probably admitted, I've been, I never have stopped thinking about you. Hell, I've never stopped checking on you because you draw me, kind of like a moth to a flame. We've got moth wings over here. We've got, peeping through the keyhole here. It's like, and here's this bottle of moon, I want to be able to tell you the whole secret, I suppose, which is that I wanted so much to offer you something, but I just didn't think I had much to offer you. That's the truth. That's what he needs to say. Plain and simple. As long as he keeps trying to, okay, craft a letter. What could I write to her that would still, not tell her the truth of anything, not display any of my real feelings? He's not able to find any message. I feel like he's writing, and maybe 9 different times, up all night writing drafts and deleting and not able to write anything. His mind is getting more swirled. But I think if he just centers it on, here's the truth, and maybe he just needs to look at a photo of her and go ahead and be inspired. How do I feel when I look at her? I remember the fact that I wanted so badly, with that 3 of Pentacles, I wanted so badly to share energy together, but that's all I've ever wanted. But I felt like I had so little to offer. That would be probably the real straightforward truth. 5 of Pentacles sideways. Also to express the longing, it's possibly been a long, cold time, and he needs to acknowledge that maybe he left her out in the cold in being so unsure that he had anything to offer her. So then instead he leaves her out in the cold. Acknowledging that's probably also a really important component. Maybe he's missed her terribly, but maybe it's just now sinking in that she might have been missing him terribly also, or that he abandoned the connection, left her in confusion when that was not at all what he should have done. Look, if he's rounding out this letter with, I wouldn't blame me if you never want to talk to me again, that Five of Swords. Wouldn't blame me if you'd be pissed at me and never want to speak to me again. And I think that's kind of fair too. But it is like, no matter what, he wishes her well, and he's sure that she's doing well, with that Six of Wands. If that's the real words that he needs to say to her, are you going to find those words? Let me just see if we got a Two of Pentacles. His gut instinct knows those words. His head is still kind of like a bird, kind of flighty, and he's weighing, do I send this? Do I say these things? Emperor sideways. All this is very, very hard for him to decide. Can I just own all of my behavior? And can I just say the truth? We don't see him brave enough exactly to do this. King of Pentacles. At least not tonight. Maybe not tonight. But maybe in the morning when he gets grounded. I'm picturing coffee grounds. When he gets his coffee in him. Maybe he'll be able to come to that conclusion. I feel like before he falls asleep, he may draft the letter that we just talked about, something real, but he doesn't send it, because this is a big thing to have to basically like lay yourself bare and say, I sabotage this. I'm the one who messed this thing up. And it's pretty abominable behavior. But I think he's getting more grounded just by getting all of it off his chest. The reality of how he feels, the reality of what actually happened. It seems like it feels better to get it off his chest. Look, there's a lot of regrets about all this, and he still doesn't know how this is going to land, but I still feel like there's this energy of him finally feeling better. Like getting the truth written down might be really helpful. Three of Cups sideways. If I feel like he's going to reread his words in the light of day, maybe, and then say, well, this is probably the best shot I've got at maybe, opening up dialogue again with her. Even though I don't know if this will work, but this is probably the best shot I've got. We got the King of Wands sideways. Yeah, again, I don't know how she'll hear it, but that maybe is still the truth, the real truth. So that's the best I can do. I just want to see maybe an outcome. The World card, holy hell. He is sending this in the nick of time. In the nick of time. He better not waste any more time. Remember the fates said don't waste time. And here we have her with the timer here and the scythe. We know that this is it. Ace of Wands. It's a speak now or forever hold your peace. That's it. This is go time. All right. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.